Hello there, very good evening. It's the 8th of October 2016. You're joined with the primetime weekend edition here from News First. We're coming to you live and direct. And I'm Joel Outskun. Let's start off with a look at our headlines for this evening.
Trade unions charge that international companies are attempting to interfere in Inland Revenue Department. The Ratnapura rally of the joint opposition held under the patronage of the former president. 3 more projects vested with the public through the government the 100-day initiative. The human-elephant conflict seals the fate of 2 more people.
On our top story this evening, we take a look at the news from the President's diary. President Maithripala Sirisena, who is on an official tour to Thailand, met with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha for bilateral discussions at the Thai Government House.
President Maithripala Sirisena and the Sri Lankan delegation were extended a warm welcome by Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. During bilateral discussions, the Thai Premier had expressed a keen interest in fostering stronger bilateral relations between Sri Lanka and Thailand. According to the President's media unit, President Maithripala Sirisena had taken steps to explain the activities that are being undertaken in Sri Lanka to combat corruption and to foster reconciliation. The President had also extended his thanks to the Premier for constant support extended by Thailand towards Sri Lanka. The President's media unit also notes that both leaders expressed willingness to further cooperation in the agriculture sector.
Welcome back to the news. Trade unions have expressed their opposition to the government's plans to obtain the assistance and expertise of foreign companies at a substantial cost.
The services of several international consultancy firms have been sought for numerous projects planned in Sri Lanka. One of these firms is Baker & McKenzie, a global law firm which specializes in financial and commercial tax law, from whom the government has sought consultancy on amending laws and drafting new laws for the proposed financial city project. Another project for which Sri Lanka has sought consultancy services is a central program management unit that will underpin ambitious plans to drive economic restructuring and development. The government has hired the reputed global management consultancy firm McKinsey & Company for this purpose at a cost of $2.3 million. The Ministry of Development Strategies and International Trade signed an 18-month agreement with the American firm Sandler, Travis & Rosenberg on the 29th of June. The Sri Lankan government will be paying Sandler, Travis & Rosenberg a sum of $630,000 for 1.5 years for these services. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Megapolis and Western Development has also come forward to seek advice from an urban housing planning firm affiliated to the government of Singapore. Meanwhile, trade unions attached to the Inland Revenue Department point out that the government plans to outsource the collection of taxes to the McKinsey organization. According to our knowledge, the Ministry of Finance is already taking the initial steps to hand over the collection of taxes to McKinsey organization. We have received information that the Cabinet has approved this and that the paperwork is being drawn up. According to the agreement, 10% of the revenue collected will be retained by the organization as a commission. The Inland Revenue Department collects nearly 500 billion in taxes. That means around 50 billion will be paid to this company. This is the money that could be used to buy medicine for the poor patients of this country or provide concessions to them. Sending this money into the pockets of foreign companies is a crime.
Attorney at Law Nagananda Kodituaku says that by selling the tax-free vehicle permit issued to the ministers and parliamentarians to a third party, the mandate of the general public has been betrayed. Nagananda has made a written complaint to the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption with proof regarding the matter. He adds that the investigations are not being carried out.
The government decided to issue permits based on public interest, facilitating MPs to discharge their public office effectively in terms of the Excise Special Provisions Act No. 8 of 1994. On the 20th of November 2015, Minister Ravi Karunanayake informed that the government incurs a loss of 40 billion rupees every year as a result of tax-free permits being misused. The minister thereby stated that issuing such permits will be cancelled. However, Attorney at Law Nagananda Kodituaku states that by selling vehicle permits to third parties, the government will incur a loss of 7.875 billion rupees. The buyer of the permit only pays rupees 1,650 to the government for each vehicle that is transferred from the MP to the buyer. The letter points out that the defrauded amount is shared between the MP and the vehicle importer as 25 million and rupees 10 million respectively. The letter points out that this is a situation where profits are being made unlawfully by betraying the public mandate. Issue faced by the people at present. Drought. Number of affected over 400,000 across 16 districts. Allocations 18.1 million rupees. Taxpayer commitments to public representatives. Loss suffered by the government due to duty-free vehicle permits. 40 billion rupees per annum. Salary issue of estate workers. Present daily wage 450 rupees excluding benefits. Request 1,000 rupees. Overseas visit for provincial councils. Western Provincial Council 20 million rupees. Central Provincial Council 40 million rupees. Daily expenditure of Parliament 4.5 million rupees. For your attention.
You might wonder, what is the point of living if you don't have a drop of water to drink? There are plenty of people around the country who struggle without proper access to drinking water on a daily basis. However, today, the Gammadda 100 initiative was able to ease the suffering of two groups in Hatton and Hambegamuwa by providing them with access to clean drinking water. At the same time, Gammadda was able to commence the work to improve infrastructure facilities of the people of Gaminipura, Hatton.
The Gammadda 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
The Samnalagama area in Bandaranaikapura, Hatton is a village that did not receive the attention of authorities. For years, its residents suffered due to the lack of drinking water. The project, which was completed with the financial aid from Manoj Sapramadu and Chandani Sapramadu, was declared open by Group Director of the Capital Maharaj Organization, Rudrani Balasubramaniam.
Capital Maharaja organization in motto vandu courage to be different.
The courage to be different, that is what the Capital Maharaj organization represents. Strive towards change, believe that anything is possible. However, everything should be done legally. Actions speak louder than words, and I believe that this program by Newsfirst provides a benefit for the people.
இதனால் எல்லோருக்கும் நன்மை ஏற்பட வேண்டும் என்ற செயற்பாட்டினை முன்னெடுத்து வருகின்றது.
I spoke to citizens and asked them how I could help them. Then they showed me many projects. Our intention was not to get involved in a major project. However, when we saw the things they were building, we wanted to help in whatever way we could. That is how we decided to provide an aid for the Samanalagama water project.
We can create a major change even with something small. That is how Gammadda was able to make a lot of changes as we sought solutions for the problems that affected the people of rural areas the most. A program was also held to distribute books in line with the Gammadda 100 Days initiative. The area residents meanwhile awarded a memento to News First.
From the time we were born, this village had the problem with shortages in drinking water. There were many who promised to do things for the village. However, it was only Gammadda who fulfilled their promise. We are very grateful to Gammadda for providing drinking water to our village.
Meanwhile, foundation stones were laid for yet another water project today. This project aims to provide drinking water to the Alutgama village located in the Thanamalville Divisional Secretariat. The Presidential Task Force on Prevention of Kidney Disease will be providing financial aid for the program, while Sri Lanka Navy will be providing the manpower. Foundation stones were also laid for the construction of a drainage system for the Gaminipura area in Hatton.
The Gammadda 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
Excessive speed, reckless driving and jaywalking results in the countless loss of lives in the country. Today, a 24-year-old paid the price with her life due to the actions of a reckless driver.
Ayesha Madhushani made her way to the Ahungalla bus stand early this morning with her father, hoping to attend a sports event in Colombo. She was at the bus stand anticipating the arrival of her friends when tragedy struck. A semi-luxury bus flying from Colombo to Mathura veered off the road and crashed onto a wall and the bus stand. Her father managed to narrowly escape death. At around 1:30 this morning, the vehicle in which Trincomalee District MP Abdul Maroof and 3 of his relatives were travelling in met with an accident in Pelvehera, Dambulla.
Footage of another accident was recorded on CCTV cameras and uploaded to social media today. Some viewers may find the images disturbing. Come back to the news, still on local news. The joint opposition rally themed "The People's Force to Fuel the Struggle" took place in Ratnapura under the auspices of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Several MPs representing the Sri Lanka Freedom Party were among those present for this rally. I must mention that this rally will be of historic importance. Immediately call for elections and we will unveil our new program. I must also mention that no matter what the name of this program is, the leader of this program will be Mahinda Rajapaksa. What you ask will be provided to you in the near future. That is the message we send from this historic rally in Ratnapura. Together with the United States of America, Ranil Wickremesinghe set up the United National Party Fund in January last year in a conspiratorial manner. They are not only adding more burden on the people through indirect taxes, they are slashing all concessionary programs. This government is taking revenge from the people. Not only politicians, but even doctors, artists, engineers and professionals are not being spared. While the suppression is taking place, the economic sectors have been dismantled. Today we will commence the people's movement to drive away this government. We are not SLFPers who would bow down to a placard or an office. We are persons who stood by the policy of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Today, these policies have been cast aside. The late Bandaranayake created this party against the United National Party, their policies and against their actions. This has been placed in the rear of the elephant. That is what has happened to Sirisena. We are against that. I have nothing personal against him.
Forgiveness does not mean forget. should keep memory about their sort of negative thing. But because of that, there is possibility to develop anger or hatred. That control, that is the meaning of forgiveness.
Almost natural response is when I'm hit, I hit back. When you have been refined, you put yourself in the shoes of the other.
It is totally wrong. The practice of tolerance and practice of forgiveness is signs of weakness. Totally wrong. 100% wrong. Or 1000% wrong. Isn't it?
Yeah, well,
No,
I mean,
this is forgiveness. It's the sign of strength. Isn't it?
absolutely. Yes, I was just going to say, those who say forgiving is a sign of weakness haven't tried it.
Minister Sajid Premadasa commented on the attempts made by those greedy for power.
Political parties are popping up like mushrooms. Groups that were rejected by the people are moving away from their traditional political parties and their legacy and are attempting to create new political parties simply for their greed for power and governance. When the people have accepted us, we have taken the power of governance and are giving relief to the people in the best way possible. The minister was speaking at a UNP membership promotion campaign in Suryawava. The campaign took place in and around the Suryawava town and weekly fair.
Leader of the Janasatha Peramuna, Venerable Battaramulle Seelaratna Thero, expressed these comments on the activities of the joint opposition.
No one will come forward under the leadership of Basil Rajapaksa. He is someone who abandoned his brother, so it is not difficult to believe that he won't abandon the people. He did abandon the people, he did it before and will do it in the future as well. Don't put a facade. If the leadership goes to Basil Rajapaksa, then God bless the people of this country.
Parliamentarian Hirunika Premachandra commented on the attempts being made to form a new party as well as the actions of the former president. She was speaking at the 5th memorial of her father, the late Bharata Lakshman Premachandra.
Bharata Lakshman Premachandra, a trade union activist and a political advisor on trade unions to the former president, was gunned down 5 years ago on the 8th of October. A ceremony organized to mark the demise of the late Premachandra commenced after floral tributes were placed at the Bharata Lakshman Memorial in Kolonnawa.
The person responsible for my father's killing was sentenced to death, but he could not have acted alone. This could not have been done if not for someone protecting the killers. There is a great doubt with regard to the doctor who performed the individual's surgery. There are also doubts about the police officers who were involved. There is also serious doubt on those who assisted in this act while behind the scenes. These also need to be probed, and I hope that the officers will be swift. If Mahinda Rajapaksa treated my father better back then, he would not have become so unpopular among the people in Kolonnawa. In the end, he forgot the old lucky because of the newcomer.
She also spoke on her future in politics.
They all ask me, am I from the UNP or the SLFP? Let us see what is written in my blood. Let us see what political decision I will be making in the future. We are from leftist families. It was a Saturday and he had his final breakfast. Since then, we had suffered a lot to reach this position. There was a time when we extended invitations and no one would come because they were afraid. Minister or MPs did not arrive. Government officers did not arrive. They even avoided us at times.
A special discussion organized by the Anti-Corruption Front on eradicating corruption and the role of the trade unions was held in Colombo today.
Lands without owners are now emerging from all over the country. There was a lot of talk in the recent past about a land in Malwana. It was stated earlier that it belonged to Basil Rajapaksa. Then it was stated that it belonged to a person called Jayakodi. Now they say that this land does not belong to either of them. It has come to an important juncture. Lawyers came before court and spoke about it. It was revealed that money has been paid for this on 4 occasions by an individual known as Nadesan. If the FCID is not going to take this case further than this, then we have to come to the conclusion that these are mere actions of political revenge. If the task of the FCID is to obtain statements from persons who are political enemies of certain persons and try to bring them before the law, then there is no point in continuing this institution.
මේ ආයතන පවත්වාගෙන යෑමෙන් කිසිදු ප්‍රයෝජනයක් ඇත්තේ නැහැ.
Views were also expressed about the central bank bond scam.
මහා බැංකු බැඳුම් කර වංචාව පිළිබඳව
As the anti-corruption front, we continuously revealed information to the public about the central bank bond scam. We protested, carried out satyagraha campaigns, held seminars and educated the public through media. Now it has been proven that everything that we revealed was true. We request the President to appoint a special presidential commission to investigate into the infamous deal done by former governor of the central bank and his son-in-law. Ensure they return this large amount of money to the people. The duo should be punished. If he is holding some important position in this government, then he should be removed from that post. That is the message that we give the government.
ඉවත් කළ යුතුයි කියන පණිවිඩය අපි රජයට මෙයව.
On the 70th birth anniversary of the co-founder of the Sri Lanka Navy Special Boat Squadron, late Commander Cedric Martinstein, the Sri Lanka Navy renamed their arrow boats to Cedric in his honor.
The Special Boat Squadron, or SBS, was created by the present Commander of the Navy, Vice Admiral Ravindra Wijegunaratne, and Commander Cedric Martinstein in October 1993, keeping in line with the Royal Navy's Special Boat Squadron and the US Navy SEAL's Special Boat Unit. Cedric Martinstein, with his expert knowledge on speedboats and outboard motors, designed the 16-foot arrow boats, which were extensively used by the SBS in the Kilali Lagoon, Jaffna, to fight against the LTTE small boats. 2 new types of weapons, namely 40mm automatic grenade launchers and 7.62 into 51mm multipurpose machine guns, were installed on both these craft with a continuous rail mounting design.
Cedric and myself, we started the Special Boat Squadron long time back, and I would say one of the bravest officers I have come across, and his knowledge was very vast. In fact, that the arrow boats that we are using now by the SBS was his production. Actually, it's his design, and we were thinking now, to name them with Cedric, because it's the Cedric's design. And but he took over the Special Boat Squadron from me, because when I went abroad for a training, and he died missing in action.
Today is day 3 of the 678-kilometer walk from Point Pedro in Jaffna to Dondra Head in Mathura, with the aim of raising funds to expand the oncology unit at the Karapitia Hospital in Galle. Trail, which is themed Walk Unite Heal, aims in raising $5 million to build a cancer treatment facility as part of an extension of the Karapitia Teaching Hospital in Galle. The walk will travel across 9 zones during the 28 days and will end on the 2nd of November at the Dondra Lighthouse. On to some tragic news this evening. 2 persons were killed due to a wild elephant attack in Pantirumale and Kalgamur areas.
A 27-year-old mother of 2 died due to a wild elephant attack on a thatched roofed house in the Kudagama area in Thantirimale early this morning. The victims' children aged 7 years and 4 years were injured in the attack and were admitted to the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital.
We heard a noise at around 2 in the morning. It suddenly attacked the house and broke it down. We were under the rubble. We managed to get out and tried to go to my mother's house by going around the house, but we did not know that the elephant was there. It charged and attacked me. I fell. Then it attacked my wife and 2 children. I heard my daughter shouting. I found her, but I could not find the other 2. I was shouting. Then my father came and found the 2 children. I knew that my wife was no more. She had already passed away by that time.
Yeah, you are right.
Area residents blame wildlife officials and government officials for the incidents that transpired.
There is no end to the damages caused by wild elephants along Kimbula River, Pahaladangas River, Madadangas River and Ihaladangas River areas.
Officials only come when something happens. They visit when someone dies. Until then, no one comes here.
All the people in this hamlet are very angry. Elephants will be lost. Their lives will be lost. The people know what to do. Therefore, we kindly request that the lives of the villagers be saved from the threat of wild elephants.
Meanwhile, a 76-year-old was killed in a wild elephant attack in the Vanyamunukole area in Galgamur last night. Our correspondent reported that the elephant had attacked the hut the victim was living in at around 9:30 p.m.
We heard a noise. I went with my brother to my parents' house and it was broken when we went there. We saw the elephant standing there and our father was lying on the ground.
Villagers say that there are over 200 elephants roaming around the village inhabited by 123 persons. Why are they allowing this to happen? Either the government should chase away the elephants or provide us with a solution. Why have the government failed to provide a solution to the ever-aggravating human-elephant conflict?
Japanese maritime self-defense force ships Kashima, Setuyuki and Asagiri arrived in the port of Colombo on a goodwill and training visit. We leave you tonight with footage of these beasts at sea. Take a look. Good night. Take care.